Today, we are going to delve deeply into the four fundamental principles of Stoicism: virtue, wisdom, justice, and courage. These pillars not only shape the lives of great ancient thinkers, but also continue to be a source of inspiration for those seeking to live a meaningful and resilient life in a world that often seems chaotic and uncertain. Introduction to Stoicism. Stoicism, founded by Zeno of Citium in the 4th century BC, is a philosophy that transcends time. Unlike many other schools of thought, Stoicism is not limited to abstract reflections. It is a practical philosophy aimed at action, guiding its followers to a life of moral excellence and inner peace. For the Stoics, true happiness does not lie in fleeting pleasures or material wealth, but in living in harmony with nature and in accordance with the universal reason, the Logos. The four principles we will explore are the cardinal virtues of Stoicism, and they form the foundation of a virtuous and fulfilling life. Each of them is interconnected, forming a solid structure that supports the Stoic soul in any adversity. Virtue, the essence of the Stoic life. For the Stoics, virtue is the supreme good and the only thing that is truly good. All other things that people usually consider good, such as wealth, fame, or health, are, in the Stoic view, indifferent. This does not mean they are irrelevant, but rather that they have no moral value in themselves. What truly matters is how we respond to these circumstances, and virtue is the key to that correct response. Virtue, in the Stoic view, is synonymous with moral excellence. It is not something we simply have, but something we constantly cultivate and perfect. And it is from this relentless pursuit of virtue that the other fundamental principles of Stoicism emerge. Wisdom, the mother of all virtues. Wisdom, or Sophia, is considered by the Stoics as the chief virtue, the one that governs all others. It is practical and moral knowledge, the ability to discern good from evil and truth from falsehood. But for the Stoics, wisdom is not just an accumulation of information, it is the ability to apply that knowledge correctly and effectively in daily life. Seneca, one of the most famous Stoics, often wrote about the importance of seeking wisdom throughout life. For him, the wise person is one who is not swayed by irrational passions, but who lives according to reason, maintaining serenity amid life's storms. Wisdom, therefore, is the guide that directs us in every decision, big or small, and helps us navigate the world with clarity and rectitude. In Stoic practice, wisdom also manifests in the acceptance of what we cannot control. Epictetus, a slave who became one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, taught that we should focus on what is under our control, our own actions and judgments, and accept the rest with tranquility. This frees us from unnecessary suffering and allows us to live with more lightness and purpose. Justice, the virtue that relates the self to the other. If wisdom is the virtue that governs our relationship with ourselves, justice is the one that governs our relationship with others. For the Stoics, justice, or dikaiosune, goes beyond human laws. It is a universal virtue based on right reason and the consideration of the common good. Stoic justice is not just about obeying laws, but about always acting justly, honestly, and compassionately toward others. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, and perhaps the best-known Stoic, constantly reflected on how his actions could affect others. In his Meditations, he wrote that we must act in a way that contributes to the well-being of the community, because we are all part of a great collective body. Justice, therefore, reminds us of our responsibility to humanity. We cannot be truly virtuous if our actions harm others. The Stoics believe that the human community is a unity and that each individual should contribute to the harmony and well-being of the whole. Courage, the strength to face the uncontrollable courage, or Andrea, is the virtue that enables us to face fear, suffering, and adversity with dignity and firmness. For the Stoics, courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act rightly, even in the face of fear and danger. Stoicism views life as a series of challenges to be faced with courage. This virtue is essential for maintaining our integrity and values, even when pressured by circumstances. Seneca, for example, wrote extensively about the importance of facing death with courage, seeing it not as something to be feared, but as a natural part of life that should be accepted with serenity. Stoic courage also applies to the small things of everyday life. It is not just about heroic acts in extreme situations, but about the courage to be true to oneself, to face our own mistakes, and to correct our faults. It is the courage to persevere in the pursuit of virtue, even when the path is difficult and the rewards are not immediate. The interconnection of the virtues. The four fundamental virtues of Stoicism do not exist in isolation. They are deeply interconnected. Wisdom guides us in the pursuit of virtue. Justice reminds us of our duty to others. Courage gives us the strength to face adversity. And virtue is the ultimate goal that unites all these qualities in a harmonious and meaningful life. These virtues form the foundation of what it means to be a Stoic. By practicing them, we learn to live in accordance with nature, to accept what we cannot control, and to find true happiness not in fleeting pleasures, but in the tranquility of a life lived in full harmony with reason. Contemporary relevance of Stoic principles. Stoicism is not just an ancient philosophy. It continues to have powerful relevance in the modern world. In an era of uncertainties and constant challenges, Stoic principles offer a moral and practical compass for navigating life with wisdom and resilience. Today, more than ever, people are seeking ways to deal with stress, anxiety, and uncertainties. Stoicism, with its focus on virtue, self-control, and acceptance of what we cannot change, offers a clear path to a more balanced and meaningful life. CEOs, athletes, and people from all walks of life have turned to Stoicism as a source of strength and guidance. For example, Stoic wisdom can be applied in business leadership, helping leaders make more ethical and rational decisions and remain calm under pressure. Justice, as a guiding principle, can promote a more inclusive and fair organizational culture. Courage can inspire individuals to face changes and challenges with confidence. And finally, virtue, as the ultimate goal, can be a beacon for all who seek to live with integrity and purpose. Conclusion: Stoicism as a path to excellence. The four fundamental principles of Stoicism, virtue, wisdom, justice, and courage, are not just abstract concepts. They are practical guidelines for living a full and meaningful life, even in the face of adversity. These principles remind us that while we cannot control what happens around us, we can always control our responses and live according to our highest values. In a world where so many things are beyond our control, Stoicism offers a refuge of clarity and purpose. By incorporating these virtues into our lives, we can not only find peace and serenity, but also inspire those around us to do the same. After all, as Marcus Aurelius said, true glory is acting justly and living according to nature. May we all strive for this glory through the practice of Stoic principles, and thus achieve true excellence in life.